So I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. I'm going to start telling you bedtime stories. Once upon a time, there was a frog. And this frog lived in a lake. And the lake was full of a lot of other frogs. It was like a frog lake. You know what I'm talking about? Well, this particular frog was called Big Red because all the frogs were named after the kind of flower that was on their lily pad. Because they all had one certain lily pad that they all wanted to be on. And all the lily pads were all unique and stuff, and sometimes they traded them so that they could be better, but they always kept the same name. So Big Red had the best, biggest, most beautiful flower that anyone could ever want. And so everyone was like, Big Red, do you want to trade lily pads with us? Ooh. He'd be like, no way, bitch, this is my lily pad. And so people would be like, oh, all the frogs would be so sad. And so one day, Big Red ran into Little Yellow. Little Yellow had the most kawaii ugu lily pad in the whole world. It was so pretty and so cute, so everything Big Red wanted that he just had to trade with Little Yellow. And Little Yellow, of course, like all the other frogs, was jealous of Big Red's flower and Big Red's lily pad. So when Big Red comes up to Little Yellow and's like, I want that. I want that lily pad you got right there. Of course, Little Yellow was like, oh, okay, I'd love to trade lily pads with you. Dee. So Little Yellow decided to trade with Big Red if I hadn't established that yet. And so they went out into the middle of the lake and they were going to exchange lily pads. Now, keep in mind, these frogs, for some untold reason, can't swim. They cannot. So they had to carefully jump from the lily pad to lily pad. So Big Red jumped into Little Yellow's, and quickly before it toppled over, he jumped into Big Red's. But as he did so, it toppled over, and he fell into the water, and suddenly it was like, oh no, Big Red had me, I'm drowning. But Big Red didn't know what to do because he couldn't swim, and he couldn't save Little Yellow, so what was he supposed to do? So he was just like, oh no, oh no. So he just kind of decided to leave, and he ran away really fast on his little lily pad. And his Big Red lily pad stayed in the middle of the lake. And so when he went back to the shore, after hiding out for a little bit and going to sleep and taking a nap, he found out everyone was talking about Little Yellow, and nobody knew where Little Yellow was. And so they asked Big Red when he came up, because they noticed that he had Little Yellow's flower. And Big Red was like, I've never even heard of Little Yellow. Who's that? And everyone was like, I didn't get it. I don't know what to do. Where is he? So Big Red did the logical thing that anyone would do. He ran away. He ran far away, out into places where no one could find him, and no one could blame him for killing the other frog, because he didn't want the kind of responsibility on his shoulders at all. Who would? And so he went to this place, and it was another pond full of frogs, but these frogs could actually swim. And so he met the love of his life, and her name was Dandelion, and they became lovers. They had little tadpoles of their own. He learned how to swim because she taught him. And then one day while he was swimming, some alligator ate him up. I don't know where the alligator came from in the pond, but sure as hell that alligator ate him. The moral of the story, my dear son, is not to let people, not to is to run away from your problems. I'll tell you another bedtime story at some later point in time, but that's it for Big Daddy's bedtime stories.